Alright, so the Devourer of Worlds is slowly approaching upon us, at least for me. A lot of people have already received their HasLab Galactus. But in the meantime, as I wait for mine, I have some Heralds of Galactus here to show you guys, and this is the Terrax and Fallen One 2-pack. This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, only sold on the Hasbro Pulse website. Here are the side images, and then here's the back side right there. Nothing much going on, let's go ahead and crack it open. Alright, so this 2-pack's a little controversial. Me personally, I don't know how I feel about it just yet. I do feel a little bummed out. I feel a little underwhelmed here. I think this could have been a lot better. Now, the original Terrax Build-A-Figure was released in the Series 1 of Return of Marvel Legends, which was like the reboot of Marvel Legends for Hasbro after they first attempted it, and then it kind of died, and then they restarted again in 2012. Terrax was Series 1 Build-A-Figure, and that was the start of the good days for Hasbro Marvel Legends, at least in my opinion. That's what kick-started it. Now, compared to today, this is definitely the best times for Marvel Legends compared to the 2012 Legends. But hey, the 2012 ones started it, it kickstarted it, and there's even body molds from then that we're seeing today, such as this Terrax right here, and it hasn't been used since then. And I feel like, man, so it's been 10 years since that release of that Terrax Build-A-Figure, and I understand a lot of people probably don't have it anymore. A lot of new collectors have come on board to Marvel Legends within the 10 years since it released, but this was the absolute most perfect opportunity to release a brand new remake of a Terrax figure. I'm meaning from the ground up, brand new body mold 100%, pinless and all. This was the opportunity because how many times do we get a Terrax? It's not like we're gonna get a Terrax every other year, right? It's not like Captain America or Iron Man where they could just release so many of it because it's such a popular character. Not a lot of people know who Terrax is, and with the release of the HasLab Galactus right now, I mean, this is the most perfect time to release a brand new version of that Terrax. And they did not do that. What they did was just release 100% the exact same Build-A-Figure right here, just a slight redeco to him, and that's it. Unfortunately, they did the bare minimum here, and then also the Fallen One, I feel could have been a little bit better too. I mean, why not go all out for this 2-pack? Why not? These are the Heralds of Galactus. These are going to be displayed with our beautiful, gorgeous HasLab Galactus that is just absolutely stunning. And then we have these older figures, so it leaves me feeling a little sour, a slight sour taste. But with that said, the Terrax, it's not like the Terrax is a terrible figure. It still looks fantastic, even till today. But it's just, I mean, if you're gonna release him again, give us a brand new Terrax. It's just how I personally feel. Maybe others don't feel that way. Maybe others do. But I personally feel like this was a missed opportunity to give us a brand new Terrax, pinless and all. Maybe an alternate head sculpt as well. Man. And with the Fallen One, this is, I think, the first time we're getting the Fallen One in Marvel Legends, and although it looks pretty cool, not gonna lie, it's not terrible, but I think it could have been better. Definitely could have been better. At the very least, we could have gotten a head swap here, or we could have gotten a closed mouth. So we do have the open mouth, and I always feel like we should get both, closed and open, or maybe a nice brand new power effect to show his power set. But what we get is the same old effect that we've gotten a billion times before, that we're just kind of just tired of seeing already. These little bubbly psychic type of effect. And then of course we do get a hand swap for him. We get a right fist and a left open hand, so you can have, the same hands if you want. Right now it's vice versa, but the same poses there. And that's all that you're getting here. Of course, Terrax comes with his axe right here, which has some shading in there. It looks pretty cool. It looks dope. But you can see this is the old, I mean, we got those ball jointed hips there. When's the last time you saw one of those? It's been, a hot minute for sure. So look, these look good, but all I'm saying is that they could have looked great. Alright, so if you ask me, I think I'm going to lean towards the original Build-A-Figure colorway. I feel like it's a little nicer, at least for me. You guys let me know which one you prefer, but you can see the difference here, especially in the gray parts, which is his skin. We got the gray plastic, but they had this super nice black wash over it, this dry brush over it, just makes it look so good. And then with the new paint deco, they have a kind of tannish, brownish gray with a white spray that go over the skin, and it looks cool and all, but now that I have it side by side, I prefer the Build-A-Figure a little bit better. You can see that the belt is a bright goldish color on the Build-A-Figure, while it's a dark goldish color on the regular release, or I guess the 2-pack release. Same thing goes for his little ankle cuffs there. And then the reds, slightly different too. It's a little bit more brighter and vibrant on the Build-A-Figure. Now, Build-A-Figure Axe is just a bland gray color, no detail, no wash, while the actual retail release is uh, detailed with black wash. So that you can see there, that goes a long way. Although they missed the middle part here, that's left unpainted, but the end of it, or the ends of it, and you can see the other end right there, are black washed, and that looks way better than the Build-A-Figure version. I even like the head sculpt on the Build-A-Figure better, because on the regular release here, they did not paint each individual tooth, while they did here on the Build-A-Figure. You can see the black lines on each tooth there, really bringing out the detail of his teeth, and I just like it a little bit better. It's the same exact face sculpt in all, but you can see the difference. They almost look completely different because of that paint detail. So in my scenario, I own the Build-A-Figure, and I like the Build-A-Figure more, so I don't feel a need to upgrade quotation marks there, because I don't see this as an upgrade. I feel like if they're gonna release the same figure, at least make it better, and in my opinion, it's not better than the original. So it's still good, it's not terrible, but it's, like I said, I like this one a little bit better. Now, you may have a different opinion and you might like this one better, and that's great, because here's your opportunity to grab him, especially if you're somebody that missed out on the Build-A-Figure or started collecting a year ago. You don't have to go track down this Build-A-Figure now. You could just buy this 2-pack and you'll have a Fall-in-One figure along with it. Alright, so since this figure is a decade old, I'll run through the articulation again. Let's go ahead and go through it here. The head is sitting on a ball joint. Let's see what it is. Yeah, it's just a ball joint peg, which is it's a barbell peg, which is what we use today. Nothing crazy there. Head will go up and goes down a little bit, left and right. There is a little bit of a head tilt there. On mine, unfortunately, look at that. We have a nice little paint chip there, and we have a little paint mark on his head there, unfortunately. As for the arm, it will go up. He does have these shoulder pauldrons or guards, whatever you want to call it, this torso piece. That will get in the way, but he could still move it up to a certain extent there. In and out, there's a bicep swivel, there's a single jointed elbow, a swivel at the wrist with a hinge. Also worth noting, I don't know if the camera picks that up, but check out the paint on the forearm. It's definitely missing a coat of paint there. I can see right through it. I can see the gray through it, and it's just very, very messy. Actually, let's take a closer look, see if it'll pick it up. You can kind of sort of see it there, and compared to the plastic mold hand here, it's almost looking pinkish there, and you could see the darkness, or you definitely see the plastic underneath there. It just needs a darker and maybe a second or third coat on the forearm there. Same thing goes for the other one there. Just feel like that could have been a lot cleaner. Anyways, let's continue on here. The hand does have a swivel, and there is a hinge right there. Of course, we do get the ab crunch at the torso, and then this piece is connected to the belt, but it is a soft, pliable plastic, so it still allows him to crunch forward and back. You can see we get those old school ball jointed thighs, or leg joints there. So he does kick forward, goes back, goes in and out. It's a little stiff, but he can do a full split. Luckily for this figure, since he does have this skirt piece, it kind of hides those ugly ball joints a little bit. It's not the worst, but it's still there, At the very least, it could have gotten us new legs. There is a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and then we get the boot cut shin swivel, ankle hinge, and ankle rocker. Man, this is nicely articulated, and think about this 10 years ago. This thing was mind blowing, at least for me. It was like, man, this is a Marvel Legend, and coming off of what Hasbro used to be before the return of Marvel Legends, and seeing this, it was pretty mind-blowing, you know? I was like, this is nice. So yeah, it definitely was a banger back in the day, 10 years ago. And it still looks good today. Now just imagine how much greater it would look like with today's toy technology and what they could really do. With that said though, I know I keep mentioning that, I keep bringing it up because it is something I feel like would have been nice to have. That being said, this thing still holds its own till today. 10 years later, it's still a damn good looking figure. You cannot deny that this looks really good. Alright, so as for the Fallen One, he is using parts from the Grim Reaper body mold. And he only comes with this head here, which is a yelling, kind of angry head. We get the hair piece that is filled with glitter and translucent there, which is pretty dope. I like that. I dig it. Pretty cool, but the rest of the figure is just a plastic mold here. Just blue. Nothing going on here. Really don't need to go through the articulation. We all know what this is all about. We just recently reviewed the Gore figure that used the Grim Reaper body as well. So again, it's nicely articulated. It's got all the articulation points there. Just a little bit of paint deco and maybe some pinless joints would have been pretty cool. Alright, so all in all, decent release. Could have been better. $62.99 is the retail price on this. It's not a super terrible price tag considering some other 2-packs have cost a little bit more. And this is a Build-A-Figure type figure. Before this, you could get this guy for about that much or higher, more than $62.99. So if you're tracking down Terrax, you were going to pay more just for him alone, and now you're paying for him and another figure. So it's not terrible for those that were already looking for a Terrax, or maybe you just got the HasLab Galactus and you want some Heralds. This is the first time we're getting the Fallen One, and Terrax hasn't come out in 10 years, so a lot of people need him as well. So this is just perfect for your HasLab Galactus. My only fear is that we won't see these characters again for another 10 years possibly. Who knows? But hopefully that's not the case. Somehow, some way, hopefully Hasbro finds a way to release a brand new Terrax, maybe another release of the Fallen One that's just a little bit better. But for now, these are definitely gonna hold the place of the character as the Heralds of Galactus in your display. It's gonna look fantastic once you get them next to all the other Heralds, and of course next to the Galactus HasLab. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and as always guys, take care, take it easy, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.